Joint practices can be fun, but it felt good to get a few days off for sure.
It was a heavy workload today. Not only just reps, I think you threw 30 passes.
Yeah. I'm sure you got the stats out there.
21 of 30, 3 touchdowns. Not a bad day. Do you remember practice where you aired it out that much, or was this kind of a something new that even for you?
Oh, I don't know. I think we talking about back in the day when we used to have like 2-hour and 45-minute practices. There were plenty. You had blitz drill, you had team pass, you had some sort of move the ball, you had a third down period. So yeah, we threw it a lot back in the day. Everything's a lot easier now.
Aaron, what's your decisions made yet on if you're going to play in the preseason, or you don't know yet?
No, I'm sure we'll have a conversation here, either impromptu, maybe walk through tonight, or in Carolina we had some time. I'm sure we'll talk, or next week. I don't know.
What are these benefits? Obviously you know better than anybody what you need out there, but what can be the benefits of playing? What's the back and forth in terms of what you and Robert would talk about?
Well, nobody likes to play anymore, and nobody likes to show anything either. Our offense that day against Washington was, you guys saw it. That's not our offense. We didn't run any of our stuff. You watch today's practice and you watch that practice, and you're thinking, which one is it? Well, it's this one. You just saw. That's the offense. So even in joint practice, you're not going to get a ton of stuff. Washington played a couple snaps of jam. They brought, in the game, they blitzed the back 3 times, played jam a couple times. It wasn't like they were doing a lot. Preseason is not what it used to be. It's to see if young guys, once the lights go on and the pads go on and the tackling happens, if they can show up or if they don't. So what's there to gain? Just going out there and being back on the field in a situation where you could get hit. But the way we get after our defense today, I think the next few days, a few times we go against them, I'm going to be worried about getting hit as well.
I was thinking kind of more from the perspective of, it's been obviously a year now. You got some new offensive line, you guys, just for you to have some, whether it's a series or two, for example.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Yeah, preseason it's not real football.
I know you mentioned, Aaron, when the joint practice with Washington wasn't your guys' offense.
Yeah.
You have another joint coming up. Have you talked to Robert or Nate or anyone just about changing that and doing more?
Yeah, I've had some kind of side cutting comments from time to time. But it is what it is. There's some competitive advantage probably. There's some advantage to having staples and stuff off of the staples. But we'll see. Him and Ejiro go way back, so I'm sure there'll be some sort of thing that maybe we want to see and something that they want to see that we'll help them with. But I like running the whole thing. I don't think we'll probably do it, but we'll save it for the first week and the second week and the third week and the fourth week.
Aaron, what's your take on a situation where a teammate requests a trade even though he has yet to have a single practice with that team?
Well, there's always new things in the league that, I've been around 20 years. I've seen a lot of stuff. I think as players, we always first try and side with the player because you know what it's like to be a player. I've played against Haason before. I don't know him well. I've had a couple messages with him, I believe, when he got traded. Obviously, we'd love for him to be here, but we don't judge him for trying to do what's best for him. I think what's best for him is to be a Jet because this is going to be a fun ride. But he's got to make the best decision for him and his family.
Because we know the stakes this year, there's so much emphasis on winning now and so forth. Would you try to reach out to him to try to say what you just said now, like to try to come in and win something here?
Yeah, that's possible. Anything's possible.
Or plan to?
Yeah.
Aaron, are there any under the radar guys maybe that have stuck out to you in camp that you think deserves a shout out?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of guys. I think there's a lot of guys up front who've been playing really well. I think Chris Glazer's had a really nice camp. With Jake going down early, it opened up some more opportunities for him at center. I think he's done a really nice job. I think Wes is a Swiss Army knife type of guy up front. He can play all three positions on the interior. He's done a really good job. There's a lot of guys that stand out that you expect to play well, but when they do so quickly, I think you got to recognize them. I think Olu has looked very, very comfortable for a first-year guy. Obviously, Braylon and Isaiah showed up in the game and did some really, really nice things. Obviously, it wasn't too big for him. So really proud of those guys. Other guys that have stood out, I think Lance has had a real nice offseason, did some good things for us at the end of last year. Has made some plays. Love to see him get some opportunities this week. Yeah, there's a lot of guys fighting for spots on the back end of those position groups. Will be some really interesting decisions.
Nate and you work so well together. What does draw you guys so tight?
Well, we speak the same language, West Coast language. Over the years, we kind of grew up in the system together. But it's the conversations you guys don't see. It's in the meeting room, after the meetings have broken and we're talking about different things and ideas and text messages at night, or the thing, I go to bed and can't sleep and I'm thinking about some ridiculous adjustment to some play, and I come in and share it with them, and the ability to refine some of the ideas and then just go out and trust and practice the things that we like to do. So there's a lot of creativity. He likes to repeat calls, which I like, and then he's adaptable. I think if you look at our offense, you guys would know last year's training camp, this year's training camp, I feel like it looks a lot different.
You spoke to
As a quick follow-up.
You guys need a minute?
No, just as a quick follow on that. He took a lot of criticism last year during the quarterback kind of rotation and carousel that was going on after you'd gotten hurt and the offense wasn't functioning. What was that like for you to listen to that about a guy that you have a relationship with him as you do?
Yeah, I felt very protective of him. I think thankfully a lot of that's in the rearview mirror for both of us. But it's been a tough couple years, with some of the stuff that coach said about him, and then obviously the scrutiny with our offense struggling. I feel like he took a lot of that on the chin and wore it well, but we'd like to show some things this year.
I think it was a couple weeks ago you said you're somewhere like 95% or whatever. You need to roll out a little more. You need to make. We saw a bunch of that today. We saw you run for a first down. Like, are these things you need to see? Are you getting to that point where you feel all the way?
Yeah, I feel like I have an extra gear that I haven't shown yet. I'm not sure how much of an extra gear that is. But in my mind, maybe that's just pushing me. I got maybe a little bit more I can give. But, being able to move into pocket and still make throws and an extended play is something I'd love to be able to do. It could be an extra little bonus with the offense. But plays like today make me feel like I'm ready to go.
Just think about it when you're out there playing.
I don't. I only think about it after a play like that, and I think, oh, okay, put that one in the bank there. Now I'm 98%, something like that.
Just curious how this is a little offbeat, so bear with me for a second.
Of course, Rich.
This is the first time in your career that you've had an older backup. You've always had really young guys around you, and I'm just wondering what's it like with Tyrod, and does that change the dynamic for you at all, having someone who basically has almost as much experience as you have?
It's way different. I love it. It's been a blast. Tyrod is a fantastic human being. I've always been a fan of his, and over the years, I've always enjoyed talking with him when he's on other teams. I think he's had some real unfortunate luck in some situations. He got stuck by a needle when he's starting, and they're going to ease Herbert into it, and then he's out, and then Herbert steps in, plays well, never gets a chance. It's happened a few different times when he's gotten opportunities. He got hurt. Last year we played him, and he cracked a bunch of ribs. But he's so fun to be around. He's a fantastic human being. He's got a lot of interests, fashion being maybe number one that we love to tease him about, but also hear more about, because he wore some sort of long short / dress at a big runway thing that he did that we're real interested in. But in all seriousness, he wakes up and he's got drip, I think they call it. He's got a lot of swag. Garrett went to me on Saturday and said, "Why can't you look like that on game day?" Because Tyrod had like the sleeve, he was swagged out, had like the J's, and I said, "I can't do it. That's just not me." But I love working with Tyrod. He's got a lot of great stories, a lot of mutual friends, a lot of shared experiences over the years. It's been a lot of fun having a backup who's in his mid-30s.
Does that help you? Can that help you?
I mean, it's just about the room kind of coming together. It helps having a guy who's played so much because he can see things through a different lens because he's been around for so long. He has no, obligation to do that for me. He's just he's a great teammate. So we both help each other out. And when we say it, it's like a shared understanding that of sincerity that we just both really want the other person to see what we're seeing. And so if he says something to me, I know it's, I take it as gospel because he knows what he's talking about, and he knows the same for me.
Aaron, last year's practice with the Panthers, the line struggled.
Yeah.
I remember part of that day. How much better do you think you guys are up front this year versus last year?
Well, I think that I think we are better up front this year. I think we've got some more experience, another year under our belt. And we got pushed around a little bit, I feel like, up front. I feel like on the perimeter we did pretty good last year, but there was probably 5 or 6 sacks that they allowed the play to continue for us. So we'd like to do a little bit better than that this year. But the line, I think, is better. I think you look at the line that went out there with Tyrod to start the game, I felt like was very similar to last year. And I think we had one starter, right, on Saturday in jail. Yeah.